mean,
he's going to see it through. I think the one thing you worry about with Celebrini being so young is matchups as the tournament goes on, but they've been great. And the one guy I want to talk about is Travis Konecny. I mean, what a tournament he's had to start here. Each line that he's played on in the first two games, I really believe has been the best line. I think he's getting a great opportunity playing with some superstars. He hasn't really had that in Philadelphia. He's had great players, but not to the quality of Crosby and McKinnon. And it's bringing out the best in him. 2 goals, 2 assists, 10 shots all over in the first couple games here. So I'm looking at Travis Konecny as being a real driver, and he's having a great tournament so far.
And Mark, you talked earlier about young players raising eyebrows. I think you can look at both Adam Fantilli and Kent Johnson, who had a big
NHL level with some incredible players. And this tournament is all about building chemistry, and it's all about building depth scoring throughout your lineup. And I think through the first couple games right now through Canada, they're getting both of that, or both of those, from all 4 of their lines, where you're seeing chemistry and you're seeing contributions. And Kent Johnson, you just see his game getting better and better. And all the talk about Celebrini with Crosby, this guy is learning a lot, too, playing with those guys, including his center iceman, who's Ryan O'Reilly, who brings a big resume himself to this tournament.
You know, not a lot of teams can say we have a future Hall of Famer in net. And in Team Canada's situation, you could say both those guys one day could be in the Hall of Fame. Marc-Andre Fleury played against Latvia today. We'll see Jordan Binnington. Are you all surprised to see Binnington return to the World Championship for a second straight year?
Yeah, I am, just because of the year that he's had. I mean, it's a long season. He backstopped Canada to the Four Nations gold. He had a long run with the St. Louis Blues, going all the way to Game 7, having to be the go-to guy. But I think the reason why he's here is because he wants to be the go-to guy for Canada. All this talk about who the guy was going to be in net, he established himself as being that guy at the Four Nations, and now coming here. Last year, you know, you look at his tournament, it wasn't something that he's probably too proud of, but he gets another crack at it with a stronger team, and he wants to say, okay, I want to come here and help win this team win again.
Yeah, this guy plays with a ton of fire. He plays with a lot of emotion. You see it, sometimes he's out there trying to fight guys during the regular season in the NHL, but he plays with a lot of fire, and I think for him it's redemption a little bit. You know, last year the tournament didn't go so well for Canada, and I think that for him, he wants to come back and get that gold medal.
And it's a nice game for him to get his feet wet too. First game of the tournament against France. Doesn't feel like he has to be overworked right now.
And the numbers don't always tell the whole story with Binnington, right? Because he's been a big game goalie. And even in the Four Nations, where even going into the gold medal game, you wondered, do we have enough in net? And they clearly did, and he was even better than Connor Hellebuyck in that game.
And this is an opportunity for him to build on that, too, to be the big game goaltender, because that's what this tournament is. It's a build with every game where you get stronger opponents, get into the medal round. I mean, you look at the way he played last year. He was their go-to guy, but you'd have to say he didn't bring his best last tournament. So a chance for him to redeem himself, like I said, with a lot stronger lineup.
And sometimes it's those big saves that matter more than the amount of saves you make, right? And he's proven that he makes those big clutch saves at big moments.
Makes a defenseman feel pretty good, right?
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so we're just a few moments away from Canada against France. It's an embarrassment of riches throughout the lineup, including in net. And with more on that, let's hear from Canada's head coach, Dean Evason, with our Lindsay Hamilton.
Dylan Garang got the start in Game 1, Marc-Andre Fleury in Game 2. Now Jordan Binnington is with the team. How do you foresee the goaltending rotation carry out?
One game at a time. You know, we'll evaluate, you know, every game and make decisions based on that. It's no different than, you know, what we've all done back home and with our teams. We've communicate, you know, with everybody involved and hopefully make the right decision on who gets the call.
We know we're going to learn and grow tonight. We're going to face adversity, but it's also a privilege, so we want to enjoy it and give it our ultimate best. Like I said, it's an honor to play for us, France versus Canada, and especially with some of the players they have. It's a special day for us, so everyone's excited and got to give it all on the ice.
So our starting goaltenders, as we mentioned, Jordan Binnington will play his first game of this year's tournament. Julian Junka has a 17-17-0 record in the Extra Liga. He had a goals against average under 3 and a .910 save percentage. France has been in a lot of tight games so far, very close to upsetting Finland earlier in the preliminary round, and they're looking to do what they did in 2014 and upset the Canadians at the World Hockey Championship. Meanwhile, in Herning, Kazakhstan has a great opportunity to win their second game of the tournament as they face Hungary. We'll get you set for that game when we return as the Men's World Hockey Championship continues on TSN.
The 2025 IIHF Men's World Championship is brought to you in part by TELUS, now offering pure fiber internet across Canada. By Esso, from the Esso Metals program to representing Team Canada. Esso is dedicated to Canada's game. And by Tim Hortons and Ryan Reynolds. Try Ryan's signature scrambled eggs and a loaded breakfast box or wrap today, only at Tim's.
Today, let's stain with Behr.
Today we're not.
This is so great. I've been telling him for months.
There's been a lot of rain.
With Behr stains, your deck will have all-weather protection.
Oh.
Get the most trusted stain brand at an everyday low price, only at the Home Depot. Today, let's paint with Behr.
Wait, we don't have Behr.
Well, what do you have?
It just says ain't.
I thought you said you researched this.
Aren't all paints the same?
No, they're not. Get the most trusted paint brand at an everyday low price, only at the Home Depot.
You shall live with mosquitoes and ticks no more. Contact Mosquito.Buzz and you can spend the rest of your summer outside. Mosquito.Buzz will spray all the areas where mosquitoes and ticks live, rest, and hide. Trees, shrubs, under the deck, behind the shed, anywhere you need protection from harmful mosquitoes and ticks. We come back on a repeated schedule so you're bug-free all season long. Safe, effective, incredible results. Contact us today at Mosquito.Buzz.
I travel for business a ton, and I have 2 tips. Never stay on the same floor as your boss, and always book your trips with Hotels.com. See, they give you a reward night for every 10 you stay at hundreds of thousands of hotels.
You can trust Royale bathroom tissue for quality and softness, but did you know it's carbon neutral? The Royale brand is part of an organization that plants millions of trees each year in responsibly managed forests. Royale, proudly Canadian.
That's just a preview of the things you're gonna get. Yeah.
If there's a breach, God forbid, stay off the main street. You lock the doors, shelter in place till we tell you it's safe to come out. But you know the drill. Prepare for the worst, hope for the best.
Herning, Denmark is hosting the World Championship for the second time. It was the site of the 2018 tournament. It is where all the preliminary B games will be played, as well as 2 quarterfinal games later in the tournament. Now, we were just talking about how impressive it was that Macklin Celebrini is having the impact that he has on Team Canada at such a young age, but he's an old, grizzled veteran compared to Tomas Zongoth. At 16, he is the youngest player at this year's tournament, and with more on the Hungarian forward, here are the guys who were calling today's game, Dan Robertson and Kevin Sawyer.
Well, Kevin, when the rosters came out for this World Championship and we looked at Hungary, we saw Doman Zongoth, 16 years old. I thought, I can't wait to see what this kid does. What are your thoughts on his play through 2 games?
Well, first of all, I'm trying to understand how a 16-year-old can compete in a championship world-class tournament, and he has been more than fine. He's been excellent. His face-offs is up there. He's better than Crosby as a matter of fact, near 70% face-off success rate. This game, Hungary has a legitimate chance to win. They were outclassed to some degree in their first 2 games. They've only scored 1 goal in those 2 games. For them to have a chance against Kazakhstan, they have to have the puck. He's going to win them some faceoffs. And at the age of 16 years old, he's around the net. He's in the fight. It seems like he's in the action regularly. I wouldn't be surprised at all if he's part of their offensive picture here today.
So part of the success for Kazakhstan at one-on-one has been the play of their goaltender, Maxim Pavlenko. He's been terrific. He'll get his 3rd straight start in the tournament tonight. Mark?
Thanks, guys. So Germany leads the Group B standings with those 3 victories on regulation. Right behind them is Czechia, Switzerland, and the United States. The Germans haven't faced any of those 3 teams, so their schedule is going to get tougher. Kazakhstan coming in with 3 points with their victory early in the tournament. Hungary still looking for that first win. Let's hear from their head coach with Britt Dort.
What do you want to see from your team against Kazakhstan here?
I want us to look like we're only focusing on performance. You know, it's just another game. Kazakhstan is a good team. They have players in the KHL, and you know it's a different type of game than Germany or the USA. They play a different style. I expect us to shut down their transition game. Once we do that.
Herning backs up. Pavlenko gets the start for Kazakhstan. He's got a 2.50 goals against average so far in the tournament. Ben Spaliz gets the start for Hungary as we are set for our final 2 games of Day 5 of the World Hockey Championship. It's Canada versus France. You can see that game on TSN 1 and 4. There's a Nathan MacKinnon fan, and Kazakhstan and Hungary on TSN 3.
Fresh Stone Rollies, ready at any moment for real-life moments. Loaded with your favorite flavors, Rollies keep you reaching for more. Share them, dip them, love them. Rollies, life rolled up.
It'll be raining cats and dogs again. Time to waterproof with Gorilla.
Waterproof with Gorilla? Yeah! Gorilla Waterproof Patch and Seal.
Of course.
Spray it. Tape it. To stop and prevent leaks. For the toughest jobs on planet Earth.
Bathfitter knows what you're looking for. The perfect style for your bath remodel with the look of tile you want. New textures, shapes, and styles. Time to set a date. It just fits. Go to bathfitter.com to book your free consultation.
This is the new face of P790 with a bigger sweet spot. Each iron is individually optimized and injected with Speed Foam Air for improved distance, feel, and consistency. P790 created a category all its own, Player's Distance. Get P-Series fit for the all-new P790 from TaylorMade.
Don't let lunch be lousy. Go get that fresh. Get to Subway. Canadian farm-raised chicken on fresh baked bread in Subway's new fiery piri-piri chicken. Subway makes it fresh like that.
Rocky's Vacation, here we come. Hang on. Dean's locked into that free beer. Did he just cheers himself? The pretzels are flowing. Dad's becoming a bear expert. Expect a fact at dinner. And there's Mom putting the fast free Wi-Fi to excellent use. If I didn't know any better, I think we're already on vacation. Nice.
Thank you for flying Air Canada.
Alex Texier back in the French lineup on Day 5 of the 2025 World Hockey Championship. Team Canada off to a 2-0 start, takes on France. And the officials, the referees, Jan Rybak from Czechia, Mikko Kokakori from Finland, Jurian Dratrek from Czechia, Davis Zunde of Latvia are the lines, with these officials being evaluated as they were at the World Junior Championship for the upcoming Olympics in Milan in 2026. Aaron Belmar and Sidney Crosby exchanging the traditional gifts. And behind the Canadian bench is Dean Evason, who thought his team got a wake-up call against Latvia after a bit of a slow start. They went on to win that game 7-1. 27 years of coaching experience for Evason. And for France, behind the bench is 44-year-old Yorick Trey, who was a member of the 2014 French team that beat Canada at the World Championship in Belarus. Nicolas Ritz and Pierre Belmar on the ice for the French today were both members of that team as well. Nathan MacKinnon off to a flying start with 4 points in 2 games. Has goals in back-to-back for Canada. And starting in goal for Canada and appearing at the World Championship for the 2nd consecutive year is Jordan Binnington, a 31-year-old St. Louis netminder. 8 games played last year. The winning goaltender for Canada, the Four Nations face-off. And for France, Julian Junka, 27-year-old who plays in the Slovak League, playing in the World Championship for the 3rd time. He's 0-5 in his career at the World Championship. Over is the French goalie of the year in 2023. But he moved on to Slovakia. For Canada, the home team in this game wearing its reds, as Gebe moves that back around. France beat Canada. There's a quick chance there, turned away by
Welcome to the game, Junka. We're ready to go.
French beat Canada in 1995 at the World Championship. In the Helsinki portion, the medal round was played here in Stockholm. And there have been some closer calls than you might expect. Emma Steele by Konechny. Travis Konechny back across to Crosby. Here's Celebrini with it. Macklin Celebrini. Back to Crosby. To Mackenzie Weegar with a shot. And that's gloved by Junka. Drops it down for Ritz. These teams have also met at the World Junior Championship. France qualified once. That was the 0-2 tournament in Czechia. As there's Konechny with a shot. And Junka makes a save. Crosby feeds it off the side of the goal. The French team had qualified the year before with a goaltender who had French, Canadian, and Canadian citizenship. He aged out, and the French felt it. On Christmas Day, Canada beat them 15-0. In comes Fantilli with it. Fantilli plays that back for Brandon Montour. Here's Mike Matheson. In around Texier, centers it. The centering pass by Ryan O'Reilly, knocked down by Kent Johnson, and played back for Montour. Montour in for Johnson. Got a couple of goals in that win over Latvia as Montour knocks it down. Played back down to the French zone, icing called against Canada.
Julian Junka gets into the game early, a couple really good chances. Forrester crossbody one-timer, he cuffs that with the elbow. Had to get off the line quickly to make that save. Another one shortly thereafter. And 3rd game for France, 3rd different starting goalie.
Right.
They have rotated all through their goalie depth chart.
At the point, Gebe plays that back, and a long shot deflected wide from Johan Kulad. The French had the Finns down. Led 3-1 with 1.5 minutes to go in the 3rd period. Eeli Tolvanen scored twice in less than a minute to tie it up, and the Finns won it in overtime. Tim Bozon for his brother Kevin, playing a line here with Belmar. Both the Bozon brothers score. And it's brought out by Phil Deneau. Jumping it across the French line, Deneau. Sharp angle shot knocked away by Junka. Played back in by Jared Spurgeon to Deneau. That pass skipped away from Braden Shan. Barrett Hayton. The pass moves back to Spurgeon, drops it back. The shot taken by Sanheim was blocked. And Yorka moves it back down for the French. France is technically in the top division for the 16th straight year. The French were relegated in 2019, but in 2020,
make it 17 years straight. Jorg Trey was pretty pragmatic about the loss to Finland.
Yeah, I mean,
acknowledging it's frustrating, but it's not like we're controlling play to get the win anyways.
McKinnon shoots, it pinballs around in front. Tyson Forrester back to McKinnon. Nathan McKinnon, the reigning NHL MVP. Moves in behind the goal. McKinnon slips that back to Riker Evans. Back for McKinnon. Gets a step. Got poke check there by Yorka.
Yorka was committed to that poke check.
Gallet lost the handle. Evans back across to Weegar. Shoots. Scores. No, hit the goalpost. It came out. The referee pointed the net. Now says no goal. In comes Texier. He shoots. Bouncing puck in front. Pennington steered that away.
Tyson Forster certainly thought so. He had his hands in the air. He was standing right in front. But if it would have had gone in, we would hear a horn go.
Connecting. Slides it back down to the French zone. Celebrini picks up that turnover. Sends it back in front. That's tipped away by Busk. And now Connecting back with it. Charles Bertrand. Back down to the Canadian zone as Crosby goes back. Canada's got 7 players who have won a World Championship. 7 have won the Stanley Cup. 7 have won the World Junior. Crosby's done all 3.
Mackenzie Weegar, he's won a World Championship before, and he almost opens the scoring here. That clean funk off the post. Forster didn't obviously see it right across the goal line. Jonka completely blocked out from the screen in front.
Weegar, the top defenseman in the 2023 World Championship when Canada won gold.
Very much a player here on an Olympic evaluation as well.
Montour, long shot. And Junka on the deflection knocks that away. There's Montour again. Down to Johnson for Montour. Winds and shoots from a sharp angle. That deflects wide. Johnson back on it. Taps that back for Matheson, but it's picked off. And moved ahead by Kevin Spinozzi.